not going to pull any punches. I have not liked a lot of the Giant Mouse knives, but this is the Atier. Atier? There we go. The Atier. It's an awesome, awesome little knife. I just wish it didn't have such a French name. I guess it's French. So guys, this, like I said in the intro, is a really, really nice knife by Giant Mouse. Atelier means studio in French, in case you didn't know. That's the name of it. I've had mixed feelings about the Ace knives from, coming out of the Giant Mouse stuff. But this one, I really, really dig. This is a very, very nice knife. It's done in Elmax, and I gotta say, this is stupid sharp. Now, this is the first day I've carried it, and this did not come from Giant Mouse or, Ace Knives. This came from Jared over at Knives Knives. First thing I wanted to mention was just the beautiful handles that are on this. The scales on this are done in a green canvas micarta, and they are really, really well done and comfortable. But then you get up into this really attractive clip point blade that is just super good behind the edge. The edge that's on this is amazing. Everything on this has been softened and crowned except for some very well placed jimping up on the spine, which is in a spot where you need it. A lot of these knives, you don't need the jimping back here, but up here where you might get up on it, yeah, you need some jimping, and it is really, really good. There's a nice thumb ramp on this. The satin finish on this is just gorgeous. I've had, like I said, a couple of the Giant Mouse knives that came in, and I was not impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I was not impressed. And this is a completely different animal. One of the cooler things about this is that I don't hate this. I don't hate this. I find this unique. It added a little bit of uniqueness to the knife because of the way they did the lanyard hole. Typically, I'm not a fan of that. The pocket clip so far today, just beautiful. It does have a little bit of a pop to it where it just kind of like, it feels like it's not all the way on the material, which would be easy fix. You could just take a pair of pliers and, retension this pocket clip, but it doesn't feel loose. It doesn't feel like I'm having any problems in and out of pocket. But these are great pocket clips because they don't scratch anything. They're not hot because they're all rounded wire. I've really started to love these pocket clips. Now, action. I do have to say, I think it's a little small for the reverse flick for me, just because of the way it's positioned and the aperture, but I can do it. But this is more of a knife that's going to be a slow roll. And it is such a good feel in hand. Honestly, this reminds me a lot in hand of another knife that happens to be in my pocket right now. Hang on. It is the Max Ace Meerkat M. Really similar in feel in hand to that knife. And I love this knife a lot. This is actually my version of this knife. This is the one that I own as opposed to the one that Jared sent me. But the Elmax on this has been sharpened to an incredible factory edge. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed with how good this knife is so far with this first day. There's a couple little things that I'm not a big fan of on it, and we'll talk about those in a minute, but just the overall first impressions on this, the little bit of cutting I've done, it's done really well. I did cut a little bit of cardboard and then cleaned it up before this. The satin has held up pretty well. There's only a couple little minor scratches on it, but the edge on it is still just nasty, sticky, sharp. So yeah, just overall pretty impressed with so far. But like I said, there are a couple small things. So let's turn this around and talk about the little bit of negative stuff on this after you guys hear from this video sponsor. All right, guys, so first and foremost, I really would have loved this to have a flipper. I have not looked it up to see if there is a flipper version, but I think this knife would have been brilliant as a flipper. Don't get me wrong, I love it the way it is, but it would have been great as a flipper. The only thing I think you would have lost some of the lines of the knife, and you may have had a little bit less of, a little bit less grip there with that. Next thing, and this is the last thing. Really, this is the very last thing on this first day in pockets that I've noticed. The liner on it, I wish they did a really good job with the jimping. It's not aggressive jimping. It's going to be good for if you're wearing gloves. But if you got bigger hands like me, it's a little tight. And I think a little bit more material removed here and maybe a little bit of material removed out here would have kind of made that a little bit better. I mean, it's not horrible, but I catch myself needing to like put my thumbnail down in there to release a lot because I just can't get the pad of my thumb down in there because I got bigger hands. So that's it. Like, that's what I found so far. I'm really digging this knife. It's going to get a good bit of use. There would be something like if you got sensitive hands, I'm not going to mention it really because it's not that bad. That might be a little sharp if you got sensitive hands. I obviously do not. That is nothing but a big callus on the tip of my thumb. So that might be something, but I'm not saying that's a negative because it does not bother me. So guys, let's turn this around and do some final thoughts to send you out about your day. Yeah, guys, for first day in pocket, I'm pretty impressed. Like, I'm really enjoying carrying this knife. Like I said, I've had a couple of giant mouse knives that were my personal ones. I've had some come in for review, and you just never saw videos about them because they just were knives I didn't like. There was nothing really fundamentally wrong with them. They were just knives I didn't like. This one absolutely is. This is a good knife. I really dig this one. So I'll try and put a link to it down below for purchase if you guys are interested. So you guys know what to do. I put an ad in the video. You know I've got sponsors. Go check out my sponsors. Coffee Bear and Coffee Tempered Trail are two of my sponsors. There's discounts built into those codes. That's why I'm calling them out. I also have Dull Strong knives. There's an Amazon store down below you can take and pin into your browser and use it for whatever Amazon shopping you're going to do. It supports the channel, doesn't cost you anything. I've got links to most of the major vendors down below and a lot of the companies that we talk about on the channel. I also have got a coupon code of crazysharp, all one word, all lowercase, that will save you 40% at Beyond EDC Knives, 10% at Rosecraft Blades, 10% at Fair and Forge Knife Works, and 10% at KATSU Knives. So take advantage of that, save some money. There's a public Discord down below. It's actually gilded, but it's the same thing. It says join the community in the description. Join up there, hang out. If you got questions about any of the stuff you've seen on the channel, I absolutely respond to those. And I have got a membership down below where I do giveaways. I have exclusive content. There's a premium sharpening tutorial series and a private Discord for those guys. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you. I'll keep it clean in the comments section. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.